All right, as we work on the 2010 Civic, as I said before, I was really thinking that it was the transmission fluid, maybe needed a good flush or something. So I took the airbox out. There's the airbox there. You really can't look at the transmission much unless you pull the airbox out, which is fine because I'll put a short ram in. Anyway, here's the throttle body back here. Anyway, whatever, we're not focused on that. Here's the dipstick for the transmission, just here, like so. So I have actually already pulled it out and cleaned it, but I put it back in to see how much transmission fluid there is, and yeah, there is none. That could be the problem. And it looks like, if you look at the coloring on the top of the transmission, it almost looks like it's been, I don't know if you can see very well, but right around where this dipstick is, it looks like it's actually been leaking out of the dipstick. All of the area on top of the transmission is discolored, so it's got a high leak, which would make me believe that it was coming out from right there. You can even see the pattern on the mounts here for the engine. It looks like it's been leaking from the top of the transmission, which is actually good news, because that means if this isn't forming a good seal, and it actually is barely stuck in there, if that's leaking out through there, maybe it just needs to be refilled with a new dipstick that fits better, which would be brilliant. I mean, talk about a great smoking gun. So yeah, we're gonna go with that as our first move, because that's fairly inexpensive and I've already bought the ATF. So I'm gonna buy a new dipstick with a better seal, refill it, and see if we can't get something good going. Okay, so if you look, the cap on the vent tube for my transmission is just a round flat cap. There's no ports or anything like that like you see on other models, and it looks like it's slightly vented, right? So like if it needs to, it can actually, at a certain level of pressure, it will, I guess, not blow off, but release the pressure. But I'm sure it's dirty. I'm not sure it even works anymore. What I did instead was order a different one. Here's it's an official Honda OE part, but you can't see it through the bag very well. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see? This one, it's got the same shape, but it's got a vent tube that sticks out the side that allows it to constantly vent pressure, which should be much more effective. And as I said before, you can see where all of the trans fluid leaked out like this, and then when it couldn't release any more pressure, it popped this out, and that's where it came out as well. So hopefully, this part cost me, I think $5, something like that, for an OE. So hopefully this will fix the issue. And what we'll do is we'll put that on there. We'll change out the trans filter, and we will drain it, and then refill it and see if that does the job. Yeah, and I'll let you know. Okay, when changing the trans filter, there's two coolant pipes right here. So here's your throttle body and intake. This is where the intake box would be. Right, you got two coolant pipes. I pulled one up and out of the way a little bit, so it's out of the bracket there. And if you follow my finger right there, there's the transmission filter, all right? And a lot of people struggle because you actually have to loosen. Let me show you. Here's the bracket. There's a bracket with 10 mil that holds it in place that you really can't see. You got to feel for. But what I found that is if you take the lead hose line, so here's let me grab it. This hose goes right here, right, from the top of the transmission. If you undo that hose like that, it actually allows you to lay it out much more flat. And you can see now I have access, much easier access, doesn't look like it, but I've got much easier access to the clamps that hold the top and the bottom hose in place. So from there I can undo it and then install the new one and do everything in reverse. But just thought I'd share that because it seems like a much easier way to go about it than trying to reach back there blindly. So hopefully that helps, and we'll get the new one installed. Okay guys, we're gonna go in with this. I've got 4 quarts. I think it holds like 3.5. But what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and fill it and then just periodically measure using the dipstick. As I said, so here's what we're gonna do it. I put the funnel in there already. Mine's an older one with the traditional transmission, not the CVT. So it actually has a dipstick attached. If you've got one of the slightly newer ones with the CVT, it's gonna be a Shody. So it's not gonna have the full dipstick on it like that. But anyway, I'll start measuring it out and everything like this, get it filled up, see if it leaks. And if not, we'll fire this up and see if we can't get the transmission to work for us. Well guys, I'm pleased to say that fixed the transmission. So between the fluid, the filter, the new vent plug, and that's all I needed actually, those 3 things, I think I'm maybe $35 or $40 deep into this project, and did the job, man. It's brilliant. Like I said in the earlier videos, it looked like this had actually never been changed. I doubt that's true because it's got 240,000 miles on it. So at some point, I would hope that it got changed. But yeah. So anyway, $40 job done well, and seems to have really fixed the transmission. Next steps now, as I said, the roof liner here is starting to sag and everything like that, so I got a special project. I'm stoked about this. Actually, I just got the last of the materials for it. So next video you see, I'm going to be replacing this with something custom, because I really want to make this car, well, Civic's, you know, one of a kind. There's a million Civics out there, but we're going to make this one as custom as we can, because, yeah, man, because Fast and the Furious, right? So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.